guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do a Top 5 Wednesday. So this week is kind of a free-for-all. You get to choose your own topic. I actually don't know if this topic is on the list. I'm sure it is, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's Top 5. And Top 5 Wednesdays are usually are curated by Sam at Thoughts on Tomes. So you can, I'll have her listed down below, but you should check her out, and because she has, of course, tons of videos on for Wednesdays. But I just do this every once in a while, so I'm just going to do one that a top 5 that I wanted to do for a while, and this is my opportunity since it's pretty much a free-for-all. So I am going to do my top 5 paranormal romance series. So I did the urban fantasy top 5 back during BookTube SFF, during the videos for that, challenges and things. So, and at the time I said, would you guys want to see, you know, a paranormal romance one? Because again, I distinguish, I find them very severely different, the two groups. So, well, to me, in my head. So, I wanted to do a paranormal romance one as well. So here are a couple more series. Now, some of these are not going to be any surprise, because if you watch my channel at all, you'll probably guess who's near the top. So, technically, I'm going to be talking about 6 series, but it's only 5 authors. And again, that's another clue. So anyway, so we're going to start off with number 5 is Thea Harrison's and her Elders, the Elder Races series. And I really like this series. This is Dragonbound, which is the first book. And it has to do with a dragon who is pretty much in control of a lot of the world, or at least the US kind of thing. And he... it's kind of a different world in the senses everything else is kind of the same, except that there are some beings who are more mythological than we have now. So he's pretty much in charge, and he, a mysterious woman, steals a penny from his hoard, and he kind of goes ballistic. Anyway, it starts out really funny. There's a lot of good humor in this, as well as, of course, there's just romance, so there's a lot of that as well. But I really like it because this has the different mythical creatures that not a lot of other urban fantasies do. Like there's a lot of different ones. Like there's dragons, there's griffins, there's genies, or not genies, they're jinns, sorry, and some other ones, and that, yeah, and vampires and other things, but they're all just slightly different in her world. And so I really like these. I think there's like 9 books in this series. I think there's also a split off series that there's like 2 or 3 now, which I haven't read, which I need to get to. But this series I finished, and I love this series. So this is a good one. The next one I talk about is Lindsey Sands and the Argano Vampire series. So again, there are like 20 odd books of this, probably closer, almost 30 now. She writes like 2 of them a year, so I'm way behind. I'm still back on like 13 or 14, which I need to get back into that. But these are super funny ones, like as in they're just the relationships that people have, where the vampires, like it's like a family of vampires that start off the series, the Arganos, and it's like, so the first one has where a doctor or a psychiatrist meets up with he's kidnapped in order to help one of the vampires because she's afraid of the sight of blood due to some trauma from her childhood or from younger years. And so it's just a funny series. Overall, it doesn't sound like that, but the fact he gets kidnapped and the things that happen are kind of funny. And they all, like, again, they build on each other. I don't know if you want to read, like, I would say actually out of all my series, don't read them out of order. Read them in order. They're funnier and more fun all the way through if you start at the beginning. So I'm just going to tell you that right out. So again, this one's a funny vampire. Mostly they're vampires is pretty much the other thing. So there's, it's like the world doesn't know that they exist. So of course, then people find out, and then it's the whole aftermath and the shock and the disbelief, and some of them all handle it very differently. Others handle it really well. And it's kind of funny. So I like the way that they're all different. And as I said, this series is still going. I think a book is coming out in the next month or 2. Of course, I've stopped buying them because I need to catch up. So, but I do want to catch up because, again, as I said, I think these are really fun. Let's see here. So let's just keep on my funny list here. And I'm going to go with The Call of Crows by Shelley Lorenson. So this is just a trilogy. She has quite a few other series that are funny as well. But, and again, one I have the first book to the next series. But this Call of Crows was hilarious. And again, this is the most over-the-top series I'm going to talk about here. So this one is women who have been killed, and an entity says that they can have a second chance at life. So they come back with some powers, and they belong to this group called the Crows. And these women all live in these houses. This are usually like a mansion with other crows, and they all get to live their second life doing fantastical things that they never got to do in their real life, like become actresses or models or get to write books. But they but they also are kind of caught up in this Viking Norse mythology kind of world where they have powers. They can fly, and they can kind of shapeshift in a little ways and stuff. And it's just, but it's so over the top. So this one takes place in Hollywood, which probably explains the over the top things. And these people are crazy. And then there are other groups, like there's some other guys who are like descendants from the Vikings, so they're a pretty warrior type. And then there's another type which are they're warriors too, but they're the scholarly warriors. And so they have all these bands. They're all against each other. They all don't like the Crows because they're not, they're not usually Norwegian or Swedish. They're not in the realm of and my brain just shut down, of the whole Scandinavian area. They're anybody from any walk of life. So any woman who this happens. Anyway, it's a great funny series. I don't think I explained that anywhere near as good as I should have, because I'm tired and hot. But I think if you want something super over the top, and again, you do not believe that any of this is real, this is the one to pick. And I said it's just a trilogy, so it's not a huge commitment compared to all my other stuff here, but I like that one. And then number 2, I'm going to bring up The Iron Seas by Mel Jean Brooke. Now, again, this series is pretty much, she's stopped writing it right now, and there's only 4 books, and I think there's I think there's a novella, but I think there's 1 or 2 novellas. I know I've read one at least. So, but this one is more of a steampunk paranormal romance. So it's kind of like, I don't know if I'd actually say it was Victorian times now. It's been a while since I read this, but I really need to reread. I guess I would say it was kind of that time period where they are invaded by sorry, my brain is just not thinking, by the Horde from Asia, and they took over England. And then it's kind of the aftermath, because there's these nanos, and there's just all the technology, the steampunk stuff. And then there's a duke. He's called the Iron Duke because somehow he was able to destroy or get the Horde out by something he did. And the story actually follows Mina, who is somebody who is born during the time the Horde was in power, and now, that they're gone, there's still all these aftermaths of things that happened. And I thought it was really good for the themes that come from that. Again, there are 4 books, and the first there's 4 books. Got my brain. Yes, it's another one of those ones that follows the same couple, or a different couple in each book, but you get kind of glimpses of them in the other books. But like the first one and the 4th one are my favorite. The Kraken King is awesome. Anyway, but I love this book too. So anyway, I am not doing very good. That's why I do not film after work. And in my top position, I'm going to go with an author, even though all these, as I said, I liked all these series for all different reasons. And again, they're all paranormal romances. But of course, I have to go with top is Lindsey Sands, because again, it's my favorites right now. And again, it's the Side Changeling series as well as the Guild Hunter series. So, Side Changeling series, again, is up to like 18 books. And this is has to do with, it has psychics, and it has shifters, or shape changers, and then humans, and it's kind of how they all interact. And I just really like the books build on each other. Again, they're different couple in every book, but you just get more and more of the world. The world building in here is phenomenal, and again, it's Lindsey Sands. So I of course recommend this series if you want a really long series that's still ongoing. this is the one to pick. And then the other one is the Guild Hunter series, and this one has almost, the 11th book is coming out this October, which I'm looking forward to. This one has to do with angels, archangels, and vampires and humans, and some the Guild Hunters, who some of them are like have like a blood scent. They're able to smell things that not everybody else does. So they hunt vampires when they try to run away from their contracts, and it's as I said, and it has this whole world. This is really good for seeing the whole world, as in the leaders, the archangels, of course, rule the world in different areas. They there's only so many at one time, and all that. I mean, it starts out really with a smaller story, but it grows. Again, world building, phenomenal. I really enjoy these. So anyway, I don't know. I should maybe not have filmed this on a weeknight, but I wanted to get this up for Top 5 Wednesday, and I've been meaning to do it for a long time. So anyway, those are all series that, of course, paranormal romances that I thoroughly recommend. I know that's 6, and I kind of cheated, but I don't care. So anyway, is there any series that you really, really like that you think I should check out? I mean, I have a whole stack of books that I'm going to do like try a chapter on paranormal romances that I bought the first book for the series, but I just haven't continued, or I've never picked it up. I just have the first book. So anyway, if you guys have any recommendations, I would totally like to hear about them. Or if you've read any of these series, which ones are your favorites, or if you're going to try them out, let me know. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.